things have to fall apart before they can be put back together. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I definitely did. Getting right into this video, the topic for today will be It Gets Better. Again, if you guys like the channel, by all means, give me a like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate the feedback on the last video. And if you want to follow me on my other socials, yeah, getting right into it. So, just like I did before, we'll go over the video. Oh, I'm sorry, we'll go over the topic, do a little gym therapy, and then we'll go into finishing up the video from there. So starting off, there are three bullet points I want to hit. The first one is just because you went backwards doesn't mean you won't go forward. And everyone understands what it means when you say um, it gets better. But understanding it versus actually happening and living through it and going through the experiences is different. There's a lot of things that we don't consider when it comes to the path that we're on at the moment. We think about how it's just taking 10 steps back. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And then all of a sudden one day you start realizing, wow, I went through that and I didn't even realize that that's what life was preparing for me. It's crazy how these little things can make you feel like you're not doing good enough. It makes you feel like you're not worth it. It makes you feel like unappreciated. And I wish that there was a way that I could just tell everyone, just trust in the process and it's going to be worth it. It's different to hear it than actually understand it. So I know that when it comes to me having to go over this topic, not everyone's going to understand that it's. I know everyone's going to understand it, but not everyone's going to feel like that's what he's really trying to say. But no matter how much you feel like you're falling back, it can never, 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 never be that way forever. There's times that it's going to feel like it's the end of the world, that you haven't really done much, or you feel like you just got pushed back so far, you have to reset your entire life, and it's okay. You can be 40 years old and still go through that. You can be 60 years old and go through that. You can be 20 years old and go through it. Just experience it. Life is about being fruitful, learning how to navigate through life, and teaching others everything that you've learned. So why not experience everything? Because you're eventually going to teach someone. You're going to affect someone eventually in the future, and it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next year, 5 years down the line. But one day, you are going to tell someone your story, and that's what the most important thing about It Gets Better is to understand. Going through these steps, going through this process is not fun. I know it. I went through it. I felt like at 25 I was resetting again because everything that I was going through, and it sucked. It sucked so much that I had to reevaluate my whole situation. I had to learn what I was doing wrong was wrong, and that was the hard part too. Because I realized that I wasn't doing anything wrong, but in fact I was like, and mentally I didn't. In my heart I didn't, but I knew that I had to. And now I get to talk about those times. Now I get to relive them in a positive way, understanding that I had to go through pain to get to that spot. My pastor always told me, "Do you want right? I'm sorry. Do you want life the way it is right now, or do you want the best part of life?" And that always got to me because I understood that things take time to process. It's like making a clay pot. It doesn't happen right away. You have to go through those steps to make it perfection. So those are the things that I think about when it comes to It Gets Better. Now we're going to go a little bit into the gym therapy, and then we'll go into the next section of the video. guys, jumping right back into where we had left off. So the next bullet point that I wanted to go over is that sometimes things have to fall apart before they can be put back together. And we're not talking about for the better. We're not talking about putting things back together because it's easy. And now that you learn what you did wrong, like you can just fix it. I learned that saying sorry is not going to fix anything. Saying, can you forgive me, will not fix anything. So learning that you messed up or learning that it's your fault that everything messed up is a huge part of you growing. You going through all those little steps and trying to fix these things is not going to work. It's not going to make you feel better just because everything is back to normal. Let's say that you messed up on a relationship and you trying to fix that relationship by getting back together. It's not going to be that easy. It sucks. But my wife always told me, I forgive, but I don't forget. So just remember that no matter what, things will fall apart. But if you learn from those experiences and you're offered another opportunity, then go for it. Live that life that you're supposed to live with the lessons that you've learned. Now, if you're not able to, then okay, take it to the next relationship. But it's never going to be the same because you've already done that to someone, and that pain will always be there. And it's okay. It's okay to know that you messed up. It's part of being human. It's part of just learning what's going on in your life. It also sucks that it was your fault and you. Some people feel like they didn't really do anything wrong, and that's how I felt. The worst part about me messing up is that I didn't know that I messed up. I just kept thinking, oh, that's just how I am. But there's no excuse for those little things. So just know that it can get better in that situation when you know that it's your fault 100% why everything fell apart. But don't let that live on. Learn from it and just understand that don't do it again, or not just not do it again, but learn that life isn't just about you. Life also is about the people that are in your life and you affect them. Be true to that statement and continue to move forward from those types of things. If you don't, then you're never going to be fully happy. You're never going to learn that going through breakups, going through disappointment, going through anything that it's never going to work out. You're going to constantly remind yourself that you messed up this one time, so you don't deserve to be happy. That's not true. Everyone deserves to be happy no matter how much they mess up. But just keep moving forward because it does get better. It's never going to be like how it was before. My wife has always told me that. No matter how much I say sorry, no matter how much I do now, it's never going to be like how it was before. And I truly feel it. She's very honest with me. But that's okay because that is something that a lot of men need. They need the honest truth. In reality, they need the honest truth, not something that's going to baby them for the rest of their life. They need someone who's going to tell them what's what and to knock them down to a big headache. We're going to do a little bit more gym aesthetics, gym therapy, and then we'll finish off the video, all right? guys, this is going to be the last clip for today. The gym therapy videos are going to be a little bit shorter, but of course, this is all again about personal growth, and that's why I really try to hammer this away. So, the last point or bullet point on this section of It Gets Better was you will you will overcome the things that are impossible to forget. So again, you will overcome the things that are impossible to forget. It takes time, but like I mentioned, everything takes time. No matter what you're doing, A to Z. It could be work, it could be driving, it could be school, it could be relationships, it could literally be anything. But these, it's going to take time for you to be able to move forward. And let's say that you're at the opposite end of that receiving side where things just got so much worse, and now you're trying to figure out what's going on with my life. Why did all of this happen to me? And it's okay. It's okay to go through those emotions. It's okay to go through those traumatic experiences, regardless whether you were affected or your whole family was affected, or just you and your partner. Someone felt something that just wasn't okay, and it just made things 100 times worse. So, in time, eventually everything's gonna get better. But just knowing that you're gonna be able to move past it one day, and you're gonna look back and think, "Wow, like I went through all of this, and I didn't even worry." I was so concerned about how my life was going when it literally just happened, a couple years back, and you start reminiscing for these things, and you start realizing I raised my standards because of this. It's because I lowered my value because of this. I didn't do this because of this. Like there's just all around a lot of things that you were thinking about, and back then it was very difficult to go through. You never thought that you were going to be able to pass that point, but look at you now. I mean, I give all the credit to my wife because she followed her pursuit and following God, and she did it the way that she was supposed to, and she kept her standards and values super high and raised them more than when we were together. And that's all I can say is that I'm happy for her. I'm happy for everything that she has put herself through right now. Now it sucks that I'm the one that put her there, but I have to realize that God wanted a purpose for her, and if it wasn't what we had went through, then it might not have been where we are right now. I honestly think if I didn't follow God and she didn't follow God, then we probably would have got back together, broke up, back together, broke up, back together, had another kid, broke up, back together, on and off. I was immature, I was dumb, I was stupid, I was just all of these things above the sun. Like it was the worst things that I could have done. And I know that I have to get past those things too, because I put a lot of pressure on myself that, hey, you did all of this, and you have to understand this person's going to take a long time before they can get better, but it can happen. Just know that it's still there, and little things that you do may affect that. So look in yourself, look inward, look outward. Know that it will get better. It gets better regardless. It just takes time, and time never stops for anyone. So as long as you feel like you're doing good, keep doing good. Be happy and learn to move forward no matter how much you've been through. Now, this is my last message. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe. God bless you guys. I will see you in the next video.